All right, Phantom, I choose you. Phantom, go ahead and use Will-O-Wisp. Now, let's try Feint Attack. Darn, it protected itself. That's really unlucky for me. Phantom, use Feint Attack one more time. Alright, this is it. It's time to throw the Pokeball and see if we can catch ourselves this Bergmite real quick. Yes! Great work, Phantom. I couldn't have done it without you. Let's go, Fletchender. Let's use those new tricks we've learned to get home real fast. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this corner of the internet. My name is SincerelyCypher, and today we finally return to Geometra, Project Geometra rather, a Cobblemon server with Panda, Regent, and myself, where we are trying to create a Pokemon main game-like experience within Minecraft so that you all can join us and have some fun in the future. With that out of the way, I have a bit of explaining to do as it's been a good long while since my last video. But don't worry, we're going to talk about, everything that's gone on that's been causing a delay. Before we do that, we're going to head over to the agriculture district where I've kind of been doing the bulk of my work this season. So yeah, let's get our little booties over there. Now, I'm making my way over to the agriculture district, but of course, if you guys haven't seen Regent's video, the city is starting to take shape a little bit, and while I've had the luxury of getting to go in some of those buildings and take a look at them for myself, I'm not going to go in them in video here. If you want to do that, I would recommend, and Milktake recommends too, that you go check out Regent's video. There, his channel should be linked in my description. But anyways, let's head over to my neck of the woods. We have the agriculture district over here. But yes, as you guys can see, things look very different than how you last remember seeing them. I didn't even bother looking at my last episode to see what you guys previously saw. But yes, this place is poppin'. Let me tell you a little bit more about that. So I think the last time I uploaded a Cobblemon video, I was mainly working on this daycare, right? We went to a secret, alternate dimension in Regent's lab, and then we put together this daycare. And I don't know if I directly said this in my video, so apologies if this is redundant, but this whole area, the agriculture district, is kind of considered like one big area that, as the city grows and expands, I'm not going to be able to be the one who is the sole caretaker for this place. So I have enlisted some trusty help from an old friend to come and take over maintaining this area. But before he and his assistants arrive, I need to kind of finish doing the area. So I've taken a lot of liberty to kick things into, oops, wrong buttons there, to kick things into high gear. I even made him a little cottage ranch. Anyways, you guys will get to meet him probably in the next episode. But for now, I'm not going to do too much explaining of what you're seeing here, and I'm not going to do a lot of building this episode. We have a big itinerary, and it has a lot to do with Cobblemon. But before we jump into all of that, I'm going to take this quick moment to show you guys a little segment that I did with Regent and Panda. Much like they didn't know much about the Naturemans, they also didn't know about the importance of breeding in Cobblemon. So I had another little educational bit with them for those who need help with their breeding mechanics. Stay around, it might be helpful. Otherwise, I'll see you guys when we're back in the present.
There's the man. The myth.
Cypher.
The legend.
You guys finally made it.
Yeah, we made it. I'm not gonna ask or anything, but just know that your green mints look sus. That's all I'm gonna say.
Smell a little sus too.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to agriculture. Anyways, what do you guys feel about this this daycare? Huh? It's kind of exciting.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
looking
daycare.
good.
It's a daycare. Oh.
Well, you know, the real magic of this place happens from inside. So let's make like a Voltorb and roll on in there. Well, fellas, when it comes to breeding, there's definitely some stuff you should know. You see, there are more ways to influence the stats of your Cobblemon than just nature's, which we went over last time. IVs, also known as individual values, are another great way to maximize your stats in battle. IVs are genetic values a Cobblemon receives at birth. There is an IV value for each stat, which you may recall includes health, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. An IV value is normally between 0 and 31, with 31 being the best and 0 being the worst. You can't change the IVs of your Cobblemon per se, but you can breed your Cobblemon together to try and mix their genetics for a stronger battler. When you breed 2 compatible Cobblemon, 3 total IV values are taken directly from the 2 parents at random. You might get 3 values from one parent, or you might get 2 from one and 1 from the other. It's completely random. You can influence exactly one of the stat values passed down to the baby by giving your Cobblemon a power item, those being the Power Weight, Power Bracer, Power Belt, Power Lens, Power Band, and Power Anklet. When a parent has either of those 6 items, it is guaranteed the baby will inherit the associated stat value from the parent holding the item. If each parent has a power item, one of the 2 stats associated with those items are then passed down to the baby. Perhaps more useful than the power items is the Destiny Knot. When a parent holds a Destiny Knot while breeding, the baby then inherits 5 total IV values randomly from the 2 parents instead of 3, which saves time when trying to finalize your breeding process. Breeding can take a lot of time due to the randomness of it, so using power items and a Destiny Knot can help speed things along by reducing RNG. Finally, besides influencing your Cobblemon stats, breeding can do some other cool stuff as well. First, if a parent holds an Everstone, that parent's nature will automatically be inherited by the baby. Second, with breeding, the mother will have an 80% chance to pass down their normal ability or a 60% chance to pass down their hidden ability, if they have one. Finally, some Cobblemon can only learn certain moves through breeding. To do so, one of the parents needs to know the move, and then the baby will hatch having learned or at least known the move. You can always relearn the move later on if it got replaced by something else. In Geometra, you can even breed shiny Cobblemon to get more shiny Cobblemon. I'm looking at you, Panda.
Sounds profitable.
Okay, it's good. That's a good stopping point.
He's gonna charge 200% again.
Oh, God.
200%.
200%! With all this talk about breeding out of the way, it's time to move on to our next big task. As you guys know, it will not be long before I have another battle with Regent and Panda where we're expected to bring on a 4th Cobblemon and get all of our little folks up to level 30. Now you might be assuming that Bergmite is my 4th Mon, but as a matter of fact, it is not. I needed it for the purposes of getting a specific move on our actual 4th Mon via TMs. TMs aren't in the base Cobblemon yet, Cobblemon mod yet. They need a side mod, which we've got. And so basically, first you make the TM machine, which not very expensive, right, based on this recipe. But then you need these blank TMs that all require a diamond. You can technically do TRs, which are one-time use, but you know we live the bougie lifestyle here in Geometra, so I want permanent, you know, constant moves from these discs. So we're gonna need some diamonds. Now sadly, I've only got 6 diamonds, and I'm also gonna need diamonds for a separate project later in the video. So we're gonna need to get some more diamonds, but thankfully we have a really easy way of doing so. Let me throw these sticks down, grab ourselves our first diamond pickaxe, my first diamond anything really. I've been kind of living this lifestyle where I only use iron tools and then mooch materials off of Panda's Create stuff, which huge shout out to Panda, by the way. A lot of the building stuff you've seen over in the agriculture district has been because of his drills and stuff. And we're actually going to get up close and personal with those. We're going to use his tunnel bore tunnels as a mine to get more diamonds. Let's get to it. while heading there, I guess this would be like a good time to show you guys. I mean, not really show you guys, but just to tell you guys, I finally figured out how to teach Fletchender to fly. She's a little on the slow side because she's not really big enough to hold a whole human. But you know, I appreciate her taking me around nonetheless. It makes things a little bit faster. But anyways, if you haven't seen it, this is Panda's Diglet drill, right? So with this, let me go on the inside here. This thing has basically, if I go into free cam, dug out a giant hole from the surface down to bedrock, which is pretty crazy. And then from here, he's got these drill burr tunnel bores that have been like mining up huge chunks of cave, leaving exposed diamonds for the taking. I mean, he himself has gotten loads of diamonds from this thing, so I don't feel bad taking the scraps at the bottom, but that's what we're going to go do. We're going to get all the exposed diamonds real quick because, like I said, we're going to need them, especially this episode. So the best way to get into this bad boy is to ride it down, but that goes really, really slow. So instead, we're going to do the Cypher bootleg way of getting in, which requires flying down through here into a little crevasse. Let's go ahead and have Fletchender help us with this. I didn't think being able to ride Pokemon like this was going to be as cool as it was, but it actually really enhances the experience quite a bit. I can't wait for when she's a Talonflame, like when she evolves again, and we can go a little faster. But anyways, oh dear. Am I not going to be able to fit through there? Hold on, we might have to make this hole a little bit bigger if I'm going to get in there. Let's see. All right. And I'm not going to bother with enchanting the pickaxe or anything. With the create mod, it's been kind of eye-opening because we have not really had to do a lot of like vanilla Minecraft survival stuff. We've been very privileged to just kind of like enjoy the fact that the mod adds lots of little like, I wouldn't say cheaty ways, but just ways to get around like needing things like silk touch or whatnot. I'm sure I'll need it at some point, but that's a problem for a future Cypher, not for Cypher now. Let's go ahead and recall Fletchender because we are now. I mean, we're down here. I mean, that's the bottom of the world right there, and there's some diamonds I'm tempted to go grab. But anyways, let's stick to the plan. Oh, this is funky. Okay. I can literally see them. How do I? What's gonna be? Oh, and there's tons of Cobblemon down here too. There's you guys are probably wondering, Cypher, what's your fourth Cobblemon going to be? And I assure you that it won't be too much longer before you find out. I think some of you will even be excited, but I need to get these TMs kind of handled first because otherwise there's not much of a point. Let's see if I can get the rest of these. Panda's gonna be like, why is there a bunch of holes in my tunnels? But then if you think about it, tunnels really just are big holes, so I don't know, it shouldn't be that weird to him. It's like very eerie down here with all the open spaces, but I mean, so far none of these Cobblemon seem angry, Sometimes they get aggressive. Hopefully they just stay chill. Is there another one in here somewhere? There we go. Little potholes on the ground like this, I'm going to go ahead and fix because for all I know, he's going to run his drill through here again. It'd be rude of me to leave little holes like that. But if I can find diamonds that are easy to snag. Oof, ouch, not like that though. I was gonna say, if I can find diamonds that are easy to snag and aren't gonna put me in harm's way, we'll grab them. We'll be sure to grab them. All right, we survived the trip through Panda's little tunnels down there. We ended up with a whopping 39 diamonds. You know, it's not the most I've ever gotten in a single mining trip, but I mean that was like what, like maybe like 10 minutes of my time, and I didn't really have to like think or anything, you know. Anytime I don't have to think about what I'm doing, it's a good day to be Cypher. So let's take these back over here and see if we can't get some of these TMs rolling. So we do first the dispenser, which I think is just like this. No, I needed one redstone powder. Okay, we've got that too. Perfect. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Awesome. Okay, so we got a dispenser. We got some iron nugs, and we got some nugs. Those are ingots. We got copper ones as well. Boom, we get the TM machine. Someone's having a bad day over here at the berry growing area. Anyways, let's turn on the TM machine, right? So you click on this, but here's the thing. So you grab like a blank disc, then you click on this, and it copies a move from one of your Cobblemon onto the TM. And then, because that TM is a permanent use one, you can then click any Cobblemon that's eligible to learn that move, and they'll learn it. So that's pretty dope. Real quick, we're going to use Bergmite as a test, but I need to know... Let's see. What's the difference between these two moves? Yeah. Oh, may freeze the Pokemon this lower speed. Okay, well, so those are pretty cool. So the move we're looking for is Avalanche, but it seems like Bergmite hasn't learned it yet. Give me one quick second. I'm going to do some homework. All right, you can see in the chat, Bergmite has just learned Avalanche. That was a more difficult process than I would have liked, but you know, in the end, where am I going? What is this little plot hole here? Okay, there we go. In the end, it's hard work that triumphs anything else. So, let's go back. I took the TM machine with me. I guess we could have just done it over there, but it's too late now. We're going to go back over to HQ over here, and we're going to try this again for science. Okay, so in this case, we'll get rid of Powder Snow with Avalanche. What this move does, by the way, if you don't know, is as the power of this attack move is doubled if the user has been hurt by the target in the same turn. So basically, in a 1v1 format, if the enemy hits Bergmite first in the round, and then Bergmite uses Avalanche, it's going to hit a lot harder, which is exactly what we want. I mean, 60 base power is already pretty decent. You can see that based on, like, you know, a lot of the moves that we've got here. 60 is already pretty solid, but then imagine it gets doubled to 120. That's crazy damage. So, but again, we're not putting that move on Bergmite. We're putting that move on someone else. So to do that, I need a blank TM, which requires some copper and a diamond. And I've got those in my inventory already. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. Okay, cool. So I believe all I have to do is click on this, and we keep going until we find Bergmite. We grab Avalanche, and now I've got this TM for Avalanche that I can use any number of times, which is awesome. Now, I need to do this for one more Pokemon real quick, one that I've caught off camera, which again, like I said earlier, I apologize that so much is happening when you guys can't see it, but there's one more Pokemon I caught specifically for a TM, and I'm going to go grab him now. Okay, there's the blank TM. So you'll notice that at the bottom of my party is this little Roggenrola, and hopefully I don't have to do any more leveling. Yeah, he's already got Stealth Rock. That's awesome. So we're going to need Stealth Rock for the Pokemon that we're putting together in today's video. We've got Stealth Rock, we've got Avalanche, we've got a Sunset that's looking absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and sleep the night away. And with these TMs done, I can finally reveal to you guys what Pokemon is coming to the team. All right, now that it's daylight again, I've hidden all the stuff on my screen so that I don't spoil it. Again, this is a Cobblemon that I've actually had for a long time. I was going to add it to the team before Porygon, but ended up changing my mind. But now you guys get to finally see the new member of our team. And like I said, I think some of you will be excited. Some of you have been asking for this one since like episode 1. But we have Wooper. Yes, we have this little water and ground type Wooper. You know, I've never really made much use of Wooper and its evolved form Quagsire, you know, in the actual Pokemon games, but water and ground is unarguably a very powerful typing. And while Porygon is generally defensive, I would love someone who's just a little bit more bulky on the physical side, especially without having to hold an item like an Eviolite. And how could I forget to show you guys this, but Wooper is actually the first Pokemon that I've had so far in this series that can be shoulder mounted. So that's actually really adorable. Very, very good for the morale. I like it. It's funky. He's cute. Now it's just time to level him up and train him.
Wooper's training didn't start particularly well. For some reason, he just didn't do a lot of damage, and everything else seemed to really put a lot of dents in him. That said, part of the reason why I was so excited to pick up Wooper and eventually evolve him into Quagsire is because the water and ground type combination is actually really solid. It has no real weaknesses except the grass type, which granted is a 4 times weakness, but we have Fletchinder on the team who ironically is 4 times resistant to grass, so you guess you could say that everything is balanced, as all should be. Once we got Wooper to level 24 and it learned Aqua Tail early, that was the time I decided to evolve it into Quagsire, and learning the new move and also evolving to get a stat increase was really all it needed to start handling its own, and suddenly training wasn't so bad. I trained Quagsire in health, attack, and defense just to kind of round out his role. Meanwhile, the rest of the party got more of the same. Phantup and Fletchinder got attack and speed, and Porygon got more health and special attack. It may have been a long day of training, but if there's one thing that Quagsire reminded me, it's that life is a marathon, not a sprint.
Alright, so now as you guys can see, my whole team here is level 30, and we did a little bit of EV training as well. For those who don't know what that is, I will have a educational segment on that in a future video. But nonetheless, I'm feeling pretty good. There's a few more changes I want to make to the team leading up to the next battle, but we'll probably tackle those next episode because we have one more little side quest to actually go take care of during this episode. I'll explain more, but for now, let's make our way over to the dark woods northeast of here. All right, so as we approach the dark forest, we are on the hunt for a lush cave, and I know there's one over here, a really big one. I can see there's the azalea tree there. I am probably the only player between the 3 of us that are on this server who has yet to even go to a lush cave, which is a problem because these leaves are so nice and so is moss, and I want those things for building. But even more importantly, in the lush caves, there is a rare crop that is actually really game changing for Cobblemon. I'm of course referring to the incredibly magnificent revival herb. They can only be found in the lush caves, and they're the only way you can make revives, which, is then the only way you can make a healing machine. And let me tell you, when you can't use a healing machine to like heal your Cobblemon after battles or whatever, it's just really annoying. At least you can kind of feed them citrus berries to heal them, but if they're like fully knocked out, the only thing you can do is like sit and wait for nighttime and then sleep it away, which is not fun. So the boys have been begging me to get this task done. I, in true Cypher fashion, procrastinated the heck out of this task. And we are now going to go and get this done finally. And I know there was like a big cave here, like a big hole in the ground. And if you followed it, you'd pretty much go straight into a lush cave. Oh, let's not get killed by angry Cobblemon out here. That would not be helpful. All right, I believe I've found it. I mean, that's definitely a lush cave. What is the easiest way? You know what? I feel like I feel like now that I can fly Fletchinder, these kind of problems aren't really problems, and I might be abusing this, but it's really nice. Oh, ow. Well, except when you're trying to get around like little caves and cliffs and stuff. Anyways, I saw the shiny stone.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Very, very cool. And I also saw this dusk stone, so I want those. But let's see if I can just grab this real quick. Bingo. All right, let's head into the cave. All right, it's mean, it's green, and it's also kind of dark. Yeah, here we go. I brought a torch so you guys can see. I always forget, like as a content creator, that, you know, in the videos, if it's dark in the game, I can still see, but that doesn't mean that you guys can see. So I have to always remember to bring torches for these things. Look, there's a lot of stuff I want here, right? Like I want these little azalea trees. I want the moss blocks, but I didn't come here for all this. It's just a nice little extra, right? We want some glowberries too. I mostly need the revival herb, so that's what I'm keeping my eyes out for, and they should be here somewhere. They're just not super common, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. Well, there it is. The revival herb. Let's go ahead and... I hope I don't need shears for this. Okay, thank God. So this revival herb here, I can actually grow that. So like we can put it on farmland. I can grow more of it, which is really cool. They don't grow super fast, so I'm still gonna grab as many as I can find down here. But this is exactly what we need. These pep up flowers, I'm gonna be honest, even with all my knowledge on Pokemon stuff, I'm actually not super familiar with what these do. I'll have to read up on that later. For now though, I've heard they make really good decorations in flower pots. So if nothing else, ooh, I didn't come down here for diamonds, but we're gonna need them later, for sure. Anyways, let's see. I mean, if I only found that one crop, I'd say that's okay. But ideally, we find maybe just a couple more, you know? All right, and there's another one. Awesome. That puts us at 10, right? I really should try to get a few more. I mean, I don't want to be greedy, but at the same time, I don't know the next time I'll be in a Lush Cave, so might as well see if I can't find maybe 1 or 2 more.
More! More!
Yoink.
More!
Bingo.
More!
Oh my God. Twinning.
More!
All right, I see one more, but it's being guarded by an angry Doug trio. Let's just see if we can quickly grab and run. Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty clean maneuver. I feel like, I mean, there might be more, but, you know, I kind of popped off the deeper I went, so... Oh, there's literally one right here. Okay, well, let's see. How many is that now? 32. We got 15 of the pep up flowers. I got a lot more diamonds. I got some big drip leaf, a lot of spore blossoms, some moss, which we can use bone meal on, glowberries, and azaleas. I mean, the only other things I would want from down here are the smaller drip leaves, which I didn't bring shears for. And what was the other main block you would even get down here? I don't know. Oh, rooted dirt. But those are underneath the azalea trees. So that's going to be a lot of digging, and we don't got time for that. So we'll save that for off-camera time. But yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good haul. I'll meet you guys back over at the agriculture district. See you soon. All right, I know I said I was going to meet you guys back here at the agriculture district, but I just remember that we're going to need some stuff that's over here. Furnaces, but also some honey bottles I've been collecting from battling comb bees. So let's make our descent here. Thank you, Fletchender. God, flying is so cool. Okay. So somewhere in here, yes, I've been collecting honey bottles because I was battling comb bees, I think for some sort of EV training a lot in the earlier episodes, but we need that. And we're going to need to cook a few of my revival herbs. So if I have some coal in here, that would be great. Let's grab that. Let's do this. Let's just cook 2 of these for now because I need to save some for growing. This should give us heal powder, I believe. Fantastic. We'll let the second one cook here, and then we should be able to mix this with a honey bottle to get a regular revive. So let's give that a quick shot. There's a lot of science going on, okay, guys? I did a lot of wiki reading for this. All right. There's 1 revive. There's 2 revives, and they let us keep the bottles, so that's awesome.
Now, with this revive, we have the core ingredient for the healing machine. But we do still have one more small problem. I've got copper, got iron, I've got revives, and I've got diamonds. But I don't have a ghast tier. Because we're playing without vanilla mobs, there are no ghasts, and therefore there's not a good way to get ghast tiers. A lot of mob drops can be obtained from Cobblemon themselves, but for some reason, no one drops ghast tiers yet. But that's okay. Rumor has it, Panda invited a couple of his friends onto Geometra, and they started a shop where you can actually exchange your diamonds for this sort of like sprocket currency that they have, and you can buy rare exotic goods. I'm hoping, maybe, just maybe, they're selling these rare exotic gas tiers that I need. And there it is. Jim and Bo's General Stowe. Walmart could never. Let's go take a look. It seems these gentlemen are the shop owners, Jimothy Bottoms and Serbo Esquire. They seem like nice people. I'm sure, you know, they have amazing sounding voices that have nothing to do with Panda's voice. All right, so sell. See, this is where they want the diamonds in Geometra. I guess from my understanding, you know, diamonds outside of Geometra are kind of hard to come by. So the fact that this is an unclaimed territory that we have been exploring means that we have lots of diamonds and it's a lucrative trade. Now they give us an exchange for our diamonds. They give us these, oh, I guess they're called cogs. Oh, did I just get one? Oh, very cool. So this is a cog, which is worth like 64 units, I guess, at their currency. I think the little ones are called sprockets, and then you can craft them up to get cogs, and cogs to be crafted up. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's grab just a few of these. Oops, so that I'm no longer the poorest person on the server. And then they don't have a lot of things for sale yet. Oh, gas tiers, perfect. Oh wait, I need 5 cogs for one of these. Okay, we might get a few more. I don't know how many healing machines we're gonna need. Probably like dozens. So I mean, let's just get a few more for now. Worst case scenario, I can probably convince Panda to reimburse me a little bit. Panda, as you guys know, is stinking rich. Let's just grab... Shoot, I guess I'll grab 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, well, that was easy. Let's, you know, never forget, guys, when you go into a store and business, you know, goes smoother than usual, it's important to leave a good Yelp review. Unfortunately, I don't have a sign. I don't have anything to make a sign, so I'll come back. I'll leave a good Yelp review, like right here or something, for you know, Jim and Serbo Esquire to enjoy. But yes, let's get back over to the crafting areas and finally make a huge milestone in Geometra's history. Yeah, that sounds right. All right, let's try this one more time. Let's see if I memorize the recipe. We need 2 of these. We need, is it this on the bottom? And then that in the middle, and then that on top. Is that how this works? Oh yeah! All right. Okay, this is dope. Let's do one more. I don't have any more revives on me. We can get more, but for now, let's just do 2 of them. Uh-oh. Much better. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves some healing machines. This is actually really huge because before, the only way we could revive our knocked out Cobblemon was by waiting for sunset, sleeping in our sleeping bags, and for some reason it would only ever revive one player's knocked out Cobblemon. With this, the grind to do leveling up and spam battling with wild Cobblemon is a lot less torturous. And, you know, I think this is just something that Panda and Regent will be ecstatic to hear about. As you guys can see, I went ahead and planted the rest of the revival herbs. This is kind of where I've been mutating berries. So, you know, I obviously don't want the revival herbs to stay here forever. But for now, that'll be a good place to keep them. And then I also need to work on getting a bunch of this azalea moss stuff kind of mass produced. There's a lot of, if I go into free cam here, there's a lot of little spaces around here. Like I'm looking mostly at like these spots, right? And these kind of like why did I just forget what these are called? Vivichokes. And these little vivichoke fields, there needs to be some like bushes and stuff, and also like azalea leaves will come in handy for some of the future tree designs I have. So, I've got my work cut out for me, but this episode's already getting kind of long, so I'm gonna save that to be an off-camera / next episode project. I guess this is where we cut it for today. So, guys, thank you so much for watching here into the end. Obviously, this video is a long time in the making, and I feel a little bit bad that it took so long. But if you guys saw my updates video, which is the most recent video I posted on the channel before this one, it was not avoidable. There's a lot of big changes going on, and they were all changes that I was making to help make me more available for YouTube and making videos and getting to hang out with you guys. So I appreciate your guys' patience, and I especially appreciate you guys for, not letting the hype die and for still being excited about Project Geometra all these months later after the initial episode. My promise to you, along with Regent and Panda, is that, I'm dedicated to the series and I know what direction it's going in, and you guys haven't even seen the bigger picture yet, but I promise you that when we get to the end of it all, it'll be super, super spectacular. So keep an eye out in the Discord server. There might be some announcements that Regent, Panda, and myself decide to make. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I hope you're able to stick around for my Twitch stream that's happening live at the end of this episode. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and have a wonderful rest of your day.